What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to look at what I look for when purchasing a used luxury watch. By buying pre-owned, you can save yourself a lot of money and still keep the resaleability at a high by making sure of a few things. One is making sure that it's a complete set, that the outer and inner boxes are all in good condition and the paperwork is complete. Make sure that the box itself and everything inside is well kept and clean. Then take a look at the warranty card and see if the back is stamped and dated. The stamp should have the jeweler name from where it was originally purchased, as well as the original purchase date. This activates the warranty and makes sure that if you have a manufacturer problem, that you can take it in for service. Also include and make sure that the documentation, like the warranty and instructions, are included with the package. This is what's commonly known as a full set box and papers. When you buy as a complete set, it makes it easier for you to sell as a complete set, since the authenticity is less in question. And the box and manuals itself adds a premium of about $400 to $500 at market rate. Now let's take a closer look at the actual watch and see what you might want to look for on the watch to see if there are any issues. The first thing I'd look at is the crystal and see if there are any chips or scratches. It's handy to have a microfiber cloth available so that you can clean off the top, fingerprints and smudges. Check the date change feature and make sure the transition is nice and crisp. Also, have a look at the crown and check the winding movement to make sure that there are audible clicks, and then change the time. The winding movement should feel smooth and not loose or too tight. Then screw down the crown. Make sure the seal is good. Next, I look at the bezel for any signs of chips, cracks, scratches, or discoloration or fading. Then I look at the case and bracelet for any signs of polishing, scratches, or other kinds of wear, like dropping it. I also take a look at the clasp to make sure that it's tight and engages properly. You might also want to look at the glide lock for this particular model and make sure that the extension or diver's extension works properly. I try to look at the watch at different angles under different lighting conditions, and just in case something might show that might not show when looking at it straight. Now let's take a closer look at the watch face. This, being a modern Rolex, has the engraving on the inner rim and is a good indicator of fakes. Most counterfeiters can't replicate the type of font on the watch face, on the dial, and on the engraving. At 6 o'clock on the crystal, you'll notice a laser etching of the Rolex crown. It's difficult to see, but in good light, you can spot it. This is also another good way to spot an authentic versus counterfeit. Just keep in mind that the engraving on the inner rim and the laser etched crystal is for modern Rolexes and not for older Rolexes. The font of the text on the face of the watch and the date are general indicators of authentic versus counterfeit. They are very good indicators, since counterfeits usually have very bad representations of the font. Here I use a loupe to kind of inspect a little bit more of the font. I take a look around at the watch face to see if the watch dial has ever been replaced on older Rolexes, and also on the lugs to see if it's ever been polished. Next, I turn it around and have a look at the spring bars to see if they've ever tried to put on a different strap, and make sure that if they have, the damage isn't too bad. There's a couple of things that I carry around with me when looking at pre-owned, and one of them is a microfiber cloth, the other is a nice low power 5-time loop, just so I can get a closer look without really straining my eye too much. When shopping online, it's significantly harder to kind of know what you're getting. The best that you can do is buy the seller. Don't take any chances with unknown sellers unless you've vetted them properly. Buying pre-owned online can save you thousands of dollars, but it does come with a little bit of risk. You can minimize those risks by buying from verified sellers. These are just some of the things that I look at when buying pre-owned so that in the event I need to sell pre-owned, that I get maximum value in return. So, if you find this useful, please comment, like, and subscribe.